There is no mobilization in Chechnya, but it is only in words. Kadyrov promised that local men will not be taken to the war in Ukraine, but they are given summonses.
Last week, our neighbors received summonses from the Military Registration and Enlistment Office for 3 men of conscription each and their family. The neighbor cries every day. She doesn't know where to put them. They don't let them out of Chechnya. They keep a registry of those who left the republic, and the relatives are demanding their return. Otherwise, they might have problems with the authorities. If they come, I'll tell them that I gave birth to my son not for the war but for myself, so that he could take care of me in my old age and have someone to bury me. I shot mother of conscript in an interview with Caucasus Realities.
The Russian military commanders keep silent about the continuation of the mobilization campaign and conceal the problems that soldiers are facing on both the rear and the front lines. It is about poor supplies and lack of real training before being sent to the front lines. Russian journalists became aware of the repression of Marines who survived the fighting near Pavlivka in the Donetsk region. Earlier, they had recorded a video message with complaints to their governor, and now in a conversation with Mediazona, one of the servicemen said that many of his unit mates are trying to refuse to take part in the fighting and are being punished for it. As punishment for complaining, they were sent to storm the fortifications. In this attack alone, 100 to 115 people were killed. Today I personally heard that assault groups refuse to go to the outskirts of the city. Refusers are treated with criminal charges, and no one takes them away from the forward positions. I personally wrote a refusal, but my report miraculously disappeared. Deserting is not an option because one could be shot. There is no law here. Marine of the 155th Brigade in a comment for Mediazona. The military leadership of the Russian Federation also denies the fact that there are special prisons for those who refuse in the territories occupied by Russia. At the same time, Russian journalists write about 7 such places. The military are held there in terrible conditions, and they get in touch with their relatives once in a few days.
My husband called today and asked for help. It's already minus temperature there. He said everyone in the basement has a terrible cough. They won't last long that way. No one explains anything to them. They don't know how long they will be held there. Wife of the mobilized in a command for Austria.
The wives and mothers of the Russian soldiers do not want to endure the lawlessness of the Russian military command. There are more and more women's complaints on the internet demanding the return of their men.
On September 26, they were taken to the Belgorod region on the night of November 14th. At night time, there was shelling in front of the soldiers. Another soldier was killed by shrapnel and the body was quickly taken away, but the soldiers were left to their own fate and were not brought out of the firing zone.
The wives say that even the presence of chronic diseases does not stop the military registration and enlistment officers to mobilize those who are sick.
His condition worsened and he wrote a report asking to go to the medical commission. He waited for a week and was told that he would be sent to the hospital, but in the end he was told that the report would not be signed because they were not going to clear up the mistakes of our military registration and enlistment office. The man is 40 years old, he is all sick and there is no law, only lawlessness.
Mothers and wives of servicemen began to unite. They are writing complaints and applying to the courts.
They sent me such a stack of papers. How is it possible for a woman to have her husband's son mobilized and now he is under the fire? Why are our conscript children at the border under fire?
The Russian military leadership does not want to explain to women why this is happening, but human rights activists say that there are more and more complaints. Reported by Serhiy Kulyas, Angelika Brushnevska, UATV News.